Hey guys, welcome back. Long time no see. Got some few things done on the mini semi build right now. I got the shop door open. It's kind of nice out for a Sunday afternoon. So I'm doing some sanding, body work right now. Last time where we left off, I was making custom fuel tanks and I ended up making them. So I'll kind of give you a walk around and show you what I did here. So I'm sanding everything down right now. Previous owner had their brand on the truck, so I sanded that down. Some pinstriping that I'm trying to get to sand down. Took all the mirrors, I gutted the doors. So there's nothing in there, no window, no triangle, no door seals, window seal. Well, there is the door seal here. These are on for right now. Quite a bit of Bondo for the cab corners. So I got them in the box over there. I gotta get the headache rack and the exhaust off in order to get at it. Haven't decided if I'm gonna take off my fuel tanks yet. So for the fuel tanks, this is the driver's side. So what I ended up doing is my brother welded these weld-on bung fittings. I believe they're 1/2 inch thread, like 1/2 inch by 14 or something like that. Just to adapted it down to 3/8 fuel line, because that's what the truck has. These are just some quick ball valve fittings. So this is the T-in from side to side, and on this side I have the return. So the fuel return is on this side of the truck. When it returns, it'll return into this tank. And then the sending unit is on this side as well. I don't know how well you can see that. Get a light here. So the sending unit's on this side. The wiring for everything's on this side. What I ended up doing is those blocks right there are 4 1/4 inches, I believe. Welded it to the frame, and then these brackets that I bought offline, they're bolted to those square tubes. They're just hollow in the center, welded to the frame, and then the brackets are bolted to those tubes. So this is the driver's side, and then there's some dust and stuff. This is the fill, welded this, screw-on fitting. I still gotta sand this one. This one I got out of a junkyard. It's just all kind of, I'm pretty sure they didn't paint it or anything. They just threw it on. Maybe if they painted it, it was like a crappy ass coat of paint. So I'm just gonna hand sand this one. There's some dings and dents, like there's a dent here. There's a little one there. There's one there. There might be one somewhere else. I think there's one over here somewhere. Still messing with the wipers, still looking that up. I got the window trim all the way off. There's some shit and stuff I gotta blow out. Hood sanded. It had a lot of pine sap tar right where all this bare metal is. So I ended up having to get it down to bare metal. I'm gonna try filling it as much as possible. There's a dent there, a couple big dents here. I think that's a little dent there. There's one right there. I mean, it's not perfect by any means. This is a different hood from a different truck. This fender is sanded down. I believe there's some dings and dents. I think they had the badges on it when I bought the truck. Yeah, there's a dent right there. I go over, re-sand everything. There's just some low spots. Like I said, you got trim all the way around the window. I'm not pulling the window. I'm not pulling these side glasses, and I'm not pulling the back glass. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna tape around everything and then paint it. I still gotta roughly sand, just hand sand all this down, and I gotta sand the top of the hood yet, or the top of the cab. I got the visor off. It's sitting over on jack stands over there. Cab lights are off. I still got to get the handles off. But in order to do that, I gotta take the interior out. I gotta take this seat out. I'm leaving that seat in for the time being, and then all the back interiors coming out. I sanded this side down. I'm gonna have to go over it again. Yeah, there's some dings and dents. Like there's a big dent right here that I gotta fill in. I don't know if I can push or fix it. I think this is actually dented in too. I have to go look at the other side. Might have to try pulling that out. It's a lot of this is just roughly sanded. Like this is where the pinstriping was that I gotta kind of sand back down. I'm gonna go over everything again with 120 before I do body filler. Like I said, this is all the bare spots, some low spots. Like I said, they had the DOT on the bottom and then their brand on the door from the people I got the cab from. Yeah, more pinstriping down here. This is all just, like I said, I just gotta roughly sand all this. Right here, you can kind of tell there's some bare. All the paint's peeling. You can see where the clear coat shipping, so I gotta knock that down. Like I said, I gotta do the back of the cab. There's some big dents I gotta do, but I gotta take the headache rack and the exhaust off, and then we gotta cut the corners out because this is all Bondo. It's all Bondo. I'm pretty sure this is Bondo as well. Can tell where they contoured it. So we're gonna cut these off, and then I got new outer skins for it. Yeah, you can just see that everything's just flaking. So, and then the fuel tank for this side, this is the fitting to go side to side, and then this bottom one's the feed. It's not all the way in the bottom. When I drove the truck, there was some fuel issues with it sloshing because I only put so much gallons in the truck, so it sloshes. I got to do something. Got maybe put like some fuel line or something, like hard steel line, to go in and towards the middle of the tank so it can suck in the middle instead of up here, because like if you're climbing a hill and the fuel sloshes back, it'll end up starving itself, which basically what it did. And then I ended up putting just a thread-on fitting fuel filter here. This is just a cat filter that said it would work for it. It's 1R-0750, or the 0749 would work too. The 0749 is longer, and I didn't know if with ground clearance and everything like that if it would work. So is what it is. That one will work for the time being. I ended up getting, give me 1 second here. All right. So under the hood, I'm probably gonna have to, there's some rust and stuff there that I'm gonna have to fix, some little holes, bare metal, just kind of roughly sand it. I'm probably gonna wipe it all down, do something. Last time I got my hood latch on, so this has been on for a while. This is just the release part, and this is where the cable goes into. Cable's broken. I got a new one on order. I'm not gonna put it in. So I've been just pushing it manually since I took off the grill and everything. So I got a new one of these. I ended up getting my cooling fans made. I don't know if you see it. Let me get my light quick. So 2 cooling fans are 12-inch fans. They're 12-inch fans. I ended up just putting, I got some really thin sheet metal that I got from a friend that was just throwing it away. So I used that as a template to cut out the centers where the fans go, and then bolt the fans onto the sheet metal. And all it is just 4 bolts. It's literally bolted right where the fan shroud is, so it's easy to replace. And then I end up just going to my local auto parts store and getting the cooling fan kit for it. So power, ground, cooling fans. This one is the Keon Power. Red is power all the time. Blue one is for the cooling fan. Black one is my ground. This white one is for the temperature for the radiator. And I believe the green one, yep, this green one is for like if you wanted a toggle switch, which I'm gonna end up wiring to the truck to manually turn them on. And then the other white one is for the AC compressor, which is not on the truck. I probably will end up doing AC compressor in the future. When I drove the truck, because I didn't want to start the truck or anything until the fuel lines were done, make sure no leaks and everything. It's sound with that, no leaks or nothing. I just got to fix the feed because I'm not overly happy with that. It does transfer fuel side to side and level it off. When I filled it up, I only filled the one side up, this passenger side. I filled the passenger side up and then just let kind of gravity take, see how long it'll take. It took a little bit. It's only 3/8 fuel line. I maybe should have jumped to 1/2 inch across instead of 3/8. But I can always change that in the future. Did that. The radiator or thermostat never got above 186, I believe. It never hit 190. So it stayed nice and cool. The fans did kick on and off. I'm not 100% sure how it will do with like a trailer on it. So we'll see when I put a trailer on it. So like I said, I gotta take the exhaust off, take the exhaust stack off, exhaust piping down, and then I can get this guy off, do some body work behind the cab. Hey guys, welcome back. We're doing things a little differently, I guess. So we're actually gonna start taking off my battery boxes. We're actually gonna pull the cab. I got my interior. I guess still gonna take the bracket off, getting all the plastic off, leaving the dash, steering wheel and everything up front for right now. Draining the coolant in it right now. We're just gonna pull the cab so that we can cut the quarter panels off. Cut them off, weld new ones in, and fix some more rust on the cab. Yeah, I got my seats. Gonna take those out in the trailer. Yep, fuel tanks are gonna stay on. The engine, transmission, transfer case, drive line, that's all gonna stay on for the time being. But yeah, nope. Doors are all gutted. We're gonna leave all the electrical in the cab. Right, might take this off. Probably will just take the shifter off. Probably should just take the whole cover off. But yep, nope, we're just getting the interior. Got some stuff laying around. I gotta disconnect the radiator hoses, take all the stuff off these inner fenders, take the inner fenders off. Same thing on the other side. Motor stand, drain the coolant, radiator stand. Fenders are gonna stay, hood's gonna stay, and we're just gonna pick the whole body up. So I'll bring it back to when I get a little bit closer. Some more stuff. Probably when we're gonna pick the cab up, I'll bring you back, or I'll show you whatever. So, be back. Hey guys, I'm back. So show you here. Got the cab in the shop. It's a wooden table dolly. Ended up having to take the hood off, leaving the fenders on. We had to take the core support and everything off up front. I left these guys on. Yeah, I left all the electrical in it for now. Clutch is there. This is the boost that I totally forgot about. And that pulled off. It'll be fine. So yeah, electrical is all just hanging on. Starter solenoids is just chilling. Fenders are on. Ended up just taking a strap through the top of the cab, looping it down, tying a chain on it, and then we had a pole that we just picked up the whole cab off the frame, at least set it on the ground, and then I got my paddle forks underneath the bottom, and then we chained it up since it was front heavy, just to help support. Got the frame in here, tractor's got to come back in, hood sitting over there, four-wheelers in the back. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of stuff yet I got to do to this frame. Put it all together, to take it all the way back apart is what it is. Just thing I knew I had to do. 4 steps ahead, 6 steps back, or however, 2 steps ahead, 4 steps back. It's just a work in progress. So I took the exhaust off. I have some bearing play, and I'm pretty sure it is pushing oil through the exhaust. I'm pretty sure it's pushing oil through the exhaust because when you start it up, it's got this like oil smell, oil haze. So got to do that. Yeah, basically got the whole motor. I pull engine transfer case and transmission out. I got to reseal. It's leaking right between the cases, so I gotta pull it, clean it up, RTV it, slap it back together. I wanna pressure wash it all off, clean it up. I wanna repaint the motor, pressure wash that up. It's just gotta tie everything together. I gotta finish welding the mounts. They're just tack welded in a couple spots there at the bottom and a couple on the sides. Just all 4 corners are just tack welded, just for the time being. I gotta finish welding the top of the angle iron to the frame. I still got them. I have there's brackets that are supposed to help support the transmission that I got to drill holes yet. I think we're gonna weld plug some of these holes, fix that. Got to do the same thing there. All 6 mounts have got to get welded. This is all got to get painted. Battery, toolbox, steps, I'm gonna leave them on. Fuel tanks will come off. I'm gonna have to unbolt all this stuff so I can paint that, get that so it doesn't flake off. The electrical harness is still on the far side of the frame. So that's all gonna come off. I think I'm gonna leave the brake line on, but the electrical will all come off. They'll all get nicely routed and everything. Yeah, I guess kind of the next thing is to do all this stuff. Gotta weld that stuff up. Yeah, paint the motor. But yeah, nope, tie electrical stuff, and I still have to pull the dash out and everything so that when I do the floor and everything, it's all done. I still got to do the underside of the cab yet. Clean that up. We didn't do anything with the rockers. We just took the time of just taking the cab off the frame. But yeah, I guess here's a closer look on the fuel system. So this is the sending unit. I still got to take out and readjust. Probably gonna do that with this tank still on the frame. And here's a closer look. So this is the return, back of fuel rail. Returns down into this tank. They're just ball valves so that whenever I have to pull them, I just shut them off, disconnect the line. And then this is the T line that goes to the other side. goes through this piece of tubing, goes in, tees into the other one, and then this, I just put a fuel filter on it. So here's the feed, comes through the bottom, feed, in, filters, out towards the mechanical pump, which is up here. Like I said, all this is gotta get tied up, and then fuel filter, injection pump. I do have another injection pump that I'm gonna end up putting on, so probably when I take the intake and turbo and everything off, I'll probably swap out injection pumps then. I have to kind of prep that motor anyways to get paint, so I'll probably end up doing that. But yeah, and there's some other stuff, like I gotta pull the dash and everything else out over here. I gotta pull HVAC and everything. HVAC, I'm probably gonna have to pull fenders, is what it is. Probably gotta scuff all this up so I can paint it. I should have messed with the wiper motor transmissions when it was all hooked up, but it was kind of just in the moment and I need to get it done. So, but that's what it's looking right now. I still gotta take the handles off, but the interior is all gutted, so I still gotta take the handles off. But yeah, no, I guess next thing on the agenda is probably pulling everything off. Probably leave it in the frame, pull turbo, exhaust and everything. Probably gonna leave the motor in, pull transmission transfer case out, fix transfer case, clean all this, pressure wash it all off, make it look nice. I still gotta do the motor. I gotta get a rebuild kit for it. But yeah, nope, there's a lot of, I'll shine a light here, there's a lot of carbon and oil and everything. So, and I'm having a boost issue. I'm not able to see any boost on the gauge. So somebody said that possibly bearing, I mean, it does have play up and down. It's pushing oil. I think it's pushing oil. Sometimes somebody said maybe there's a rubber boot that goes from the turbo inlet to the intake. Maybe that boot's ripped or tore, or hose clamps are not tight or anything. I did pull the engine oil dipstick and it seems to be over full, so I'm not 100% sure if I overfilled it. Off the top of my head, I don't recall how much oil it takes. I'm pretty sure I put 3 gallons in it and it was just fine. So hopefully there's no like head gasket issue. I did have the heads off. At the time, I did not get them resurfaced or anything, but I did put new head gaskets on it and everything looked good. And I torqued everything down to spec. I put studs in it, ARP head studs in it. So theoretically, it should be fine. But yeah, no, everything looked good. I don't think it's putting fuel in the oil. Doesn't taste like it, didn't look like it, but I'll probably end up draining it out, looking at it, kind of going through, and then put fresh oil in it and a new filter. Just because, I mean, it is a new filter. I'll probably I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, next up is probably getting everything buttoned up, kind of get everything prepped so that transmission transfer case can come out, and engine transmission transfer case can all come out, and kind of get everything prepped. So I guess this will leaves it at that for the time being. Thanks for watching. Come back next time for the mini semi build. Like, subscribe, share. Trying to growing my YouTube channel. So we'll see how far it goes. I'm hoping to get this truck done about maybe summer or fall, so I can at least drive it for a little bit. We'll see, I guess. But thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.